Transmit the plea, continuous loop, make it break. Commander Mara Vance's voice cut through the bridge hum. Analyst Juno Park nodded from her console. Fingers flew across keys. The signal burst toward the alien flagship, a Scorvath dreadnought blotting Sol's outer lanes. Please, the recorded voice begged, human accent thick with simulated fear. We yield, spare our worlds, clear path for your advance. Vance watched the holotank. 50 Scorvath cruisers formed a wedge, plasma lances primed. Earth orbitals gleamed below, civilian haulers dodging in panic. Her fleet hid in the gravity shadow of Luna's debris ring. Silent, patient, Park leaned in. Code embedded, ma'am. Pauses mark the countdown. Stutters sink the triggers. They won't detect it amid the desperation. Vance's eyes stayed on the tank. Good, loop it tighter. Let them savor the groveling. The bridge crew shifted. No one spoke. Vance treated this like code deployment, inputs, assumptions, cascade failure. Aliens prized spectacle, humans, timing, a new signal pinged. Incoming from the dreadnought. Admiral Soren Vesh's voice boomed, guttural Scorvath clicks translated crisp by the onboard AI. Primitives, you're whimpering amoozes. Surrender accepted. Clear orbital lanes. We claim prize in glory. Laughter echoed in the feed, harsh, metallic bursts from his bridge. Vance's lip twitched, not a smile, calculation. Comply, she replied, voice steady. Traffic rerouting now, corridors Alpha through Delta open. Welcome to close orbit. Park glanced up. Decoys active. Civilian routes funneling into ghosts. Real lanes sealed. Vance nodded. Elia's status? Captain Elias Cade's face patched in from the stealth corvette Shadow Lance Asterisk. His scarred jaw clenched around a stim stick. Boarders primed, drones loaded with EMPs and breachers. We ghost in on their flank once they bunch. Execute on cue, Vance said. No heroics, Cade grunted. Just work. Vesh's fleet stirred, the holotank lit with vectors, cruisers peeled off, engines flaring blue. They funneled into the offered corridor, a wide sweep past Luna straight into Earth's equatorial belt. Decoy freighters puffed chaff, mimicking frantic evacuations. Scorvath sensors pinged false positives, cargo pods, shuttle swarms. They're buying it, Park murmured. Pride blinds their sweeps. Vance tracked the lead cruiser. It muscled ahead, carving the path. Vesh's dreadnought followed, belly thrusters blooming for orbital insertion. 48 vessels now, tight formation, perfect alignment. Arrogant, Vance said. They see theater. We built the stage. On the dreadnought's bridge, Admiral Soren Vesh savored the feed. No, stay with Vance. She imagined it from intercepts. Vesh's spines flared in triumph, officers chanting victory rites. His translation AI fed her their chatter. See how they scatter. Weaklings break before true warriors. Laughter again. Then orders, Titan formation, orbital burn in 5, glory to the Scorvath. Vance's timer ticked. Park's code hummed in the plea loop. Pauses lengthened, 3 seconds, 5-8. Stutters pulsed Morse under the sobs. Civilian traffic clear, Vance broadcast. Lie, her actual haulers hugged the sealed lanes, shielded by orbital forts jamming. Vesh's voice returned, smug. Adequate, we descend, prepare tribute. The armada committed. Engines roared in unison. They slid into the kill box, a cylinder of space laced with human mines, railgun batteries, and drone swarms. Luna's shadow cloaked the traps. Park's console beeped. Sync point in 30, all assets green. Vance gripped her armrest. Comm held, pressure forged precision. 20 seconds, Cade's patch flickered. We're in their exhaust wash, breachers hot. 10, Vesh's fleet crested the corridor's midpoint. Sensors should have screamed warnings, but humans' surrender jammed their protocols, assumptions overrode alerts. 0, Park hit execute. The plea cut mid-whimper. Hell erupted. Orbital forts decloaked first. Railguns spat tungsten storms, punching through cruiser hulls. Scorvath shields flared, buckled. Mines bloomed in sequence, Park's pauses triggering fusion yields. Plasma blooms lit the black. Shadow Lance away, Cade barked. His corvette ghosted from the debris. Boarding drones latched onto the dreadnought's flanks. No alarms, yet Scorvath point defenses chased decoy flares. Vance watched the tank. Vesh's wedge shattered. Lead cruiser vented atmosphere, spinning wild. 2 more cracked amidships, debris fields birthing kill chains. Admiral Vesh, Vance transmitted, voice ice. Your glory ends here. His bridge feed hacked in Park's doing. Chaos, officers thrashed as bulkheads buckled. Vesh clutched his throne, spines rigid. Impossible. Treachery, not treachery, Vance said. Engineering, Cade's team breached. Feed from his helmet cam, corridors ran red with Scorvath blood. Blunt strikes, stun batons to nerve clusters, blades to joints. No waste. Captain Cade shouldered through a hatch, pistol barking. Core room secured, he growled. Kill switch planted. Park synced it. Stutters in the old plea activated the EMPs. Dreadnought systems flatlined, shields dropped, weapons cold, Vesh's fleet reeled, survivors fired wild, lances grazing forts. Human drones swarmed, cheap massed, overwhelming their elegant interceptors. Collaboration forts pinned, Cade's saboteurs gutted, mines pruned the flanks. A cruiser grazed Shadowlance asterisk. Cade's cam shook. Minor hit, pressing. Vance exhaled, one breath. All units second wave, logistics strike. Freighters decloaked from sealed lanes, armed hulls dumping missile pods, overkill yield. Scorvath anti-missile fire thinned the barrage, but numbers told. Impacts rippled. Vesh roared over open channel. Primitives, you feign weakness. We stay calm, Vance replied. You assumed. His dreadnought listed drones burrowing into engineering vents. Cade's voice cut in, charges set, evac in 10. Explosion bloomed aft. Vesh's bridge went dark. The armada lined up exactly where Mara wanted, stacked in the killbox, engines exposed, formations brittle. Last cruiser burst, debris rained toward Earth. Vance leaned back. Secure the lanes, salvage what we can. Park smiled faintly. Code worked perfect, ma'am. Cade patched in, wiping blood from his brow. Clean run, no losses. Vance nodded. Humans won by inches, timing, assumptions flipped, but sensors pinged anew. Reinforcements, no Scorvath escape pods scattering. Never anger humans, Vance murmured to the bridge. They hadn't just won, they demonstrated. The holotank reset, Sol secure for now. Vesh's final intercept looped faint. How? Park killed it, silence fell, Vance stood. Debrief in 5, we rebuild. Her crew moved, competent, humble, ready. Captain Elias Cade sealed the airlock behind his team. Shadowlance peeled away from the gutted dreadnought. Hull breaches vented corpses into vacuum. Status, he snapped. Marine grunted. All objectives hit, Scorvath cores slagged. Cade checked his wristpad. Vance's all-clear pulsed. No drama, just execution. He eyed the drifting wrecks. Aliens built pretty ships, humans built traps. Back to fold, he said. Earth needs salvage. Engines hummed. They vanished into the debris. Analyst Juno Park synced the last logs. Pauses and stutters, simple code. Aliens heard begging, humans heard symphony. Ma'am, she said to Vance. Their logs confirm, they laughed. Vance's gaze sharpened. Underestimation kills, Park nodded. Next time they'd adapt, but today, victory. Admiral Soren Vesh floated in his escape pod, spines wilted. Sensors showed his fleet gone. Human voices echoed in the static. Primitives, no engineers. He keyed a tight beam home. Warning, never underestimate. Static replied. The pod tumbled toward Mars, alone. Commander Mara Vance watched the cleanup. Pods corralled, wrecks tagged, her fleet emerged full. Intact, calm under pressure, traps sprung, hooks set for the next fleet. They'd come and line up again. Commander Mara Vance gripped her command chair as the bridge screens lit with fold ruptures. 24 Scorvath cruisers materialized, spines flared in battle formation. Vesh's revenge fleet. She keyed fleet-wide comms. All ships synced to Park's broadcast. Countdown locked to her signal. No deviations. Analyst Juno Park's fingers danced over her console. Silent calibration, pings fired from every human vessel, ghost pulses masked as static. Alien jammers lit up in response, patterns mapping across her display in real time. Jamming grid confirmed, ma'am. Blind spots at vectors 7 and 12. Their interceptors can't cover both. Vance nodded once. Broadcast surrender protocol. Make it desperate. Park fed the pre-recorded pleas into open channels. Garbled human voices begging for mercy, laced with stutters only human receivers decoded as sync codes. Every ship in Vance's flotilla, 6 heavies, 12 escorts, and Cade's stealth wing locked timers to the beat. T-3 hours. Admiral Soren Vesh's spines quivered with triumph on his flagship bridge. Human wrecks still orbited Mars from the last debacle. Now they muled again. Primitives break so easily, he hissed to his staff. Sensors showed human ships powering down weapons, scattering in feigned panic. Deploy interceptor screens, box the surrender corridor. No treachery escapes us this time. Scorvath interceptors surged forward, dagger-shaped swarms forming a kill funnel 3 clicks wide. They herded the lumbering human escorts toward Vesh's main battle line. Pride swelled in his chest. Clean victory. Theatrical. His logs would sing of it. Vance watched the replays from her weakest escorts, 4 battered corvettes, engines flaring erratically. "Execute retreat vector," she ordered. Captains acknowledged. The corvettes jinked wildly, broadcasting fake distress calls. Scorveth interceptors bit, chasing them deeper into the corridor. Perfect herd. "They're committing," Park murmured. Her ping map updated. Alien jammers stretched thin, gaps widening. "T-90, ma'am. Elias Lancers in position." Vance's eyes narrowed on the main plot. Vesh's cruisers advanced, capital beams charging for the kill. Human ships drifted silent, weapons cold. No return fire. "Hold discipline. Every shot ruins the timing." Captain Elias Cade clung to a stanchion in asterisk shadow, Lance asterisk S Assault Bay. His Marines checked mag clamps, eyes on wrist timers, T-80. The stealth corvette ghosted through a jammer gap, Park's pings carving the path. "Quiet insertions only," Cade growled. "Cores first, then bridge, no chatter." His team nodded, visors down. Shadow Lance latched onto the lead Scorveth interceptor, mag seals kissing hull without a spark. Breaches spun open. Marines poured in, silenced rifles spitting flechettes. Scorveth crew spasmed, spines locking in shock. Cade planted the first slag charge on the reactor core. "One down, sink holds." Back on Vance's bridge, Park's console chimed. "Interceptors reporting failsafes. Elias hit 3 squadrons, they're blind in the rear." Vance locked her jaw, T-60. She broadcast fleet-wide. "Countdown frozen, no firing until 0. Vesh commits or we reset." Her heavies held station, point defense dark. Escorts feigned engine failures, drifting into the funnel's heart. Scorvath beams swept past, probing. No targets lit. Vesh's bridge erupted in confusion. "Why no resistance?" a lieutenant rasped. Human ships floated like gutted fish, yet sensors screamed traps. Interceptors vanished from the flanks, ghosts in the jamming fog. "Push the cruisers in," Vesh snarled. "End this farce." His battle line surged, 20 heavies sealing the corridor. Pride demanded it. Underestimation? Never again. But it was. Vance's plot bloomed with overlays, timed minefields from the last battle, slagged Scorveth wrecks laced with human surprises. Park's pings sink them all, dormant drones, orbital kinetics, Cade saboteurs. "T-30, Park said. Sweat beaded her brow, but her voice stayed level. A Scorveth interceptor grazed one of Vance's crippled escorts. The corvette captain held fire, hull sparked, crew compartments vented, still no shot, Vesh's staff crowed. "They flee without fight." Cade's team breached the second cruiser core. Alarms wailed inside. "Spines up," he muttered. A Scorveth squad charged, plasma lances glowing. His Marines flanked, grenades popping shields, bodies piled, charge set. "Extract, sink to 0. Vance's fleet held, minutes stretched. Scorveth cruisers loomed, beams hot. Human signals begged louder, Parks coded crescendo. Vesh's voice boomed over open channels. "Surrender accepted, power down fully." His ships crossed the kill line. "T-10, Park whispered. Vance's hand hovered over the trigger relay. Com settled her pulse. Systems engineering, timing, assumptions. 0. Park slammed the broadcast kill switch. Human weapons ignited, point defense swarms, spinal lances, missile salvos, all synced to the Plutone. Minefields bloomed in the corridor mouth, kinetics raining from Mars orbit. Cade's charges detonated in interceptor bellies, chains ripping through the screen. Scorvath cruisers buckled. Frontline heavies vaporized in the kinetic storm. Vesh's flagship shuddered as rear saboteurs slagged its engines. Jamming collapsed, Park's pings turned to targeting data. Human escorts shed their damage, shields flared full, turrets live. "Primitives," Vesh roared, spines rigid in fury. His bridge sparked, Marines boarding via grapples. But Cade's voice cut through stolen comms. "Cores next, boys." Explosions rocked the hull. Vance's heavies pivoted, broadsides carving the trapped line. No escape. Scorvath beams glanced off timed shield pulses, Park's map dictating every cycle. Interceptors herded forward, clogged the debris field, easy pickings. Vesh clutched his console as escape pods jammed. Humans didn't rage, they executed. "How?" he gasped. A final plea signal pulsed, underestimation kills. Vance watched the last cruiser bloom silent. Pods scattered, her fleet tallied, 0 losses, intact. "Debrief in 5, she said. Crew moved without cheer, competent, patient. Captain Elias Cade sealed the airlock on the gutted flagship. Shadow Lance peeled away. "All boards green," he reported. Wristpad pinged Vance's all clear. He eyed the wrecks. Aliens built fast hunters. Humans built clocks. Analyst Juno Park synced the logs. Stutters confirmed. Vesh heard surrender. Humans heard victory. Ma'am, their command net laughed till 0. Vance's gaze hardened. They'll send more. Hooks set. Sensors pinged new folds, distant, massive. The Empire's response. They'd line up again. Admiral Soren Vesh tumbled in his pod, spines limp. Static filled his tight beam home. Never underestimate. Mars loomed. But this time, dread gnawed. Humans waited. Always. Captain Elias Cade punched the shuttle's stealth ejectors. Debris from the last battle cloaked his vector, twisted Scorvath hulls and vaporized drones tumbling in Saul's shadow. His engines whispered cold nitrogen bursts, hugging the alien sensor blind spot. No heat bloom, no grav wake, just junk. Shadow lance away, he muttered into his wrist comm. Tenders in crosshairs, ETA 12. Commander Mara Vance's voice crackled back, steady as hull plating. Park's got the windows synced. Their parade burn starts in 20. Cut clean, Captain. Cade gripped the stick. His shuttle skimmed the Scorvath supply tender's flank, a bloated beast hauling cryofuel for the incoming Empire reinforcements. 8 tenders dotted the formation, feeding Admiral Soren Vesh's revenge fleet. Vesh thought humans broken. Pods scattered, signals pleading. Perfect bait, Cade fired mag clamps. They bit silent into the tender's underbelly. Airlock cycled. He floated through in void suit, mag boots thudding soft on alien deck plate. Corridors hummed, automation mostly, crew minimal. His HUD overlaid Park's hack. Life signs clustered forward, oblivious. Goal, cryo lines, conflict, patrols. He ghosted past a drone station, pulse knife slicing its tether. It drifted dead. Thermal tape charges unspooled from his belt. He slapped the first onto the main cryo manifold, insulated gel that melt lines on remote trigger. Snip, tape, snip. Fuel sloshed in transparent veins, super-chilled methane ready to ignite. A hatch hissed. Cade flattened into shadow. 2 Scorvath crew shuffled past, spines quivering in post-battle chatter. Their language barrier meant nothing. His suit's jammer painted him as bulkhead. He peeled off the last charge. 8 lines severed. 80% of the tender's payload doomed. Now spoof. Cade jacked his wristpad into the beacon node. Park's code wormed in, stolen from Vesh's last flagship. Beacons flipped. Nominal transfers complete. Fuel reserves green. False ping beamed to the fleet net. Vesh's staff would nod. Humans never hacked deep. Underestimation. Cade sealed the node. Alarms stayed dark. He backtracked to the maintenance bay, grabbed a pod shell, standard ejector for repairs. Eject sequence armed. He triggered it. The pod spat him into the void. RCS thrusters fired precise, arcing toward Vance's pickup vector. Debris masked him again. Tender plodded on, trader beacons winking green. Cade's comm lit. Spoof confirmed, Juno Park reported from Vance's bridge. Her voice clicked through data streams. Vesh's command net buying it, parade formation tightening. Cade exhaled. Fuel's rigged, your clock Park. From the Endurance S bridge, Commander Mara Vance watched the holotank. Scorvath cruisers aligned in victory wedge, Vesh's pride on full display. Pride drove them to parade burns, synchronized thrusts toward Earth orbit, flagsims broadcasting dominance, humans broadcast surrender. Analyst Park, Vance said, sync the kill switches. Juno Park's fingers danced over her console. Police signals looped from human beacons, Morse-like pulses Vesh read as capitulation. To humans, they were cues, timed stutters dictating shield cycles, drone swarms, missile salvos. Switches live, ma'am. Tenders report full. Their burn ignites in 3. Vance nodded. No fist pumps, just execution. Her fleet hung back, dispersed, engines cold. Heavies loomed in Saturn's rings. Interceptors ghosted Lagrangian points. Patient. Admiral Soren Vesh stood tall on his flagship Dreadspire S bridge. Spines flared triumphant. Human wrecks littered the plot, his first victory salvaged by Empire might. 200 cruisers, tenders fueling the push. Earth awaited. Status, he barked. Staff officer chittered. Tenders nominal, Admiral. Human signal surrender. Parade formation set. Vesh's mandibles clicked satisfaction. Restraint was weakness. He'd burn theatrical, fleet-tight beams saluting Saul. Empire feeds would broadcast the fall. Victory burn, advance. Thrusters ignited. Fleet surged forward, wedges perfect. Tenders led the fuel train, feeding mains in real time. Cade's pod locked into asterisk Shadow Lance asterisk S Bay. He stripped the suit, hit the bridge. Pilot grinned. Vance has eyes on. Showtime. Explosions bloomed silent on the plot. First tender's cryo lines ruptured. Thermal tape hit critical. Methane flash froze, then detonated, hull splitting. Fuel plumes engulfed trailing cruisers. Vesh's bridge shuddered. What? Alarms wailed. Second tender. Third. Chain reactions lit the void. Parade formation a killbox. Cruisers yawed, engines starving as spoofed reserves lied. Vance keyed fleet-wide. Heavies pivot, broadsides now. Endurance rolled, railguns spat. Scorvath shields buckled under timed pulses, Park's signals dictating every flip. Human drones swarmed from debris, herding interceptors into minefields. Cade watched the carnage. Core's next, he said. Shadow Lance boosted, grapples prepped for borders. Vesh clutched his console, spines wilted. Tenders sabotaged, how beacons cleared, staff stammered. Humans, inside, impossible. Plea signals pulsed again. Vesh's linguists decoded, surrender. His own net screamed, fuel zero. Human heavies carved the wedge. Escape vectors clogged with wrecks. Vesh punched Tightbeam home, trap. Underestimation static cut him. Boarding klaxons howled. Cade's Marines hit the asterisk Dreadspire asterisk S hull. Grapples bit. Breaches sealed. Clear the bridge, Cade ordered. His team flowed methodic, no yells, just cuts and stuns. Scorvath fought fierce, claws raking, beams lancing, but humans stayed calm. Cade sidestepped a lunge, pulse rifle dropping the warrior. Cores, boys, charges planted. Vance's voice synced. Extract in 10. Explosions rocked the flagship. Cade sealed the airlock. Shadow Lance peeled away. Vance's plot cleared. Last cruiser bloomed. Pods scattered, fewer this time. Her tally, minimal damage, intact. Debrief in 5, she said. Crew moved efficient. Park synced logs. Their net laughed at our pleas till the flash. Parade was the hook. Vance's gaze sharpened. Empire's watching, they'll adapt. Sensors pinged. Distant folds, bigger shadows massing. Cade eyed the wrecks from his shuttle. Aliens built hunters. Humans built traps. Vesh tumbled in his pod, spines limp. Mars swelled ahead. Static hissed, never anger the patient, but dread coiled deeper. Humans didn't rage, they waited, timed. From Endurance asterisk S shadow, Vance watched the pods drift. Park's map plotted intercepts, not all. Some lived to report. Good work, Captain, Vance said over comm. Cade grunted. Fuel's the great equalizer, they line up pretty next time too, Park chimed. Odds say yes, pride's a constant. Vance allowed a thin smile, systems hummed, fleet reformed, dispersed, Earth spun safe. New folds rippled, Empire's third wave vaster. Vesh's warning reached them, or not. Humans checked clocks. Ready, Cade launched drones for cleanup. One pod tight-beamed faint, Soren Vesh gasping codes. Park jammed it partial, enough leak to bait. Hooks reset, Vance confirmed. The void waited, silent, patient. In his pod, Vesh clutched a shard of console. Humans turned surrender to blades. His empire marched blind. Next fleet burned in. Parade tight. Tenders leading. Cade's shuttle ghosted debris again. Cycle renewed. Vance watched the holotank. Park cues prepped. Locked, ma'am. Burns ignited. Traps whispered live. No rage, just clocks ticking. Captain Elias Cade rode the blind spot once more. New tenders bloated the van. Empire learned slow. He mag-clamped silent. Charges ready. Beacons hungry for spoof. Vesh's shadow loomed somewhere aft. Pride unbroken. Cade cut the first line. Methane dreamed of fire. Nominal, his pad lied. Fleet surged. Parade perfect. Park's signal pulsed. Now tenders bloomed. Chain lit. Vance pivoted heavies. Cade extracted clean. Wrecks multiplied. Pods fewer. Empire folds massed closer. Learning, humans waited, always. Commander Vance's finger hovered over the holotank icon. She pressed it. Micromines detonated in a precise ripple 2 light seconds off the alien vanguard. Debris clouds bloomed silent. No chain reaction. Just enough wreckage to nudge the enemy formation starboard into the kill box. Gap confirmed, Park said from her station. They're reading it as clear. Vance nodded. Flip the cadence, make the plea their metronome. Park's hands danced across her console. The broadcast shifted. Human surrender signals pulsed at exact intervals, syncing human fire control across railguns, missiles, and Cade saboteurs. Each plea a hidden cue. Fleet status blinked green. Clocks ticked flawless. Vance watched the holotank. Empire tenders plowed ahead, fat with munitions. Pride blinded them again. Admiral Soren Vesh gripped his command throne. Sensors lit the debris field, a human blunder scattering junk. Optimal breach, his tactical officer reported. Humans yield the lane. Vesh's mandibles clicked satisfaction. Restraint meant fracture. His third wave dwarfed the last 50 capitals, tenders shielding the core. Advance through the gap, Vesh ordered. Concentrate heavies, end this farce. Thrusters flared. Capitals surged forward, tenders parting like a curtain. Vesh's flagship led the wedge. Human signals wailed, surrender pathetic. No traps showed. Victory shaped clean. Vance's eyes narrowed at the holotank. Aliens funneled perfect. Capitals clustered tight. Railgun Alpha, she said. Single shot, clip Vesh's antenna, minimal profile. Gunner Tors acknowledged. Firing, the slug lanced out, a whisper in the void. It grazed the alien flagship's comms array, shattered it without hull breach. Vance exhaled. Status, Park scanned. Their net spikes, routing to backups. Vance's thin smile returned. Half-second delay confirmed, lock sync. Human guns hummed alive, the plea metronome ticked. Vesh snarled as alarms wailed. Antenna gone, comms glitched empire-wide. Backups online, his comms chief barked. Relaying through auxiliaries. Vesh waved it off. Delay measured microseconds, negligible. Press the advance, he commanded. Humans break now. Capitals thrummed forward. Tenders cleared the gap. Sensors showed human fleet static, surrender posture, but clocks lagged. Orders arrived stuttered. Captain Elias Cade's shuttle ghosted the debris wake. He mag-clamped to a tender's flank, blind spot holding. Beacon spoofed, his pilot murmured. They're not looking down. Cade planted charges, methane feeds rigged to Park's queue. Charges armed. Extract vector hot. Drones swarmed from his bay, seeding microdisruptors into the alien van. Silent, patient, Park's voice crackled tight beam. Sync live, metronome green, Cade grinned faint. Copy tenders bloom on tick. He kicked free, shuttle burned cold. Vance tracked it all. Holotank pulsed red, alien heavies packed the lane. Fire control, she said. All domains on plea cadence. Tors relayed, railguns charged, missiles uncoiled from shadows. Cade's beacons pinged live. The first surrender pulse hit. Tenders erupted. Methane fireballs chained through the van, gutting supply lines. Vesh's bridge shuddered. Sensors screamed, tenders gone, Rex blooming. Flankers, he roared. Evasive, but orders lagged. Backup relays choked, half-second became fleet-wide stutter. Human railgun volleys arrived first. Slugs punched capitals amidships, timed flawless. Missiles swarmed from the debris mistake. Micromines, unseen remnants, detonated in the crush. Vesh's heavies buckled. One cracked stem to stern, another vented Atmo. Comms delay, his chief yelled. Humans jamming the chain. Vance watched the slaughter. Aliens twisted late, their vaunted sync shattered. Park, amplify the pleas, she said. Let them hear their doom. Broadcast swelled, surrender turned dirge. Each pulse another salvo. Cade's shuttle looped back. Clean up green, pods lighting up. Extract, Vance ordered. Reform on me. Empire fragments scattered. Vesh's flagship limped, shields flickering. In his bridge, Vesh clutched the armrest. Hull groaned, crew bays vented. Regroup, he gasped. Delay crippled them, human fire danced perfect. Sensors showed the trap scale. Mines, signals, one shot. Pride curdled to dread. Vance's fleet pivoted clean, no pursuit, just reformation. Damage assessment, she said, Park tallied. Their core gutted, 20 heavies down. Supply chain 0, Vance nodded. Bait the retreat, prep fourth wave welcome. Clocks reset, Earth secure, Cade docked smooth. Cycle complete, Commander, they learn slow. Always, Vance said, Vesh broadcasted ragged. Empire, withdraw, humans, deception masters. Park jammed it partial, leak enough to lure the next fold. Holotank rippled, fourth wave signatures, Vance leaned in. Positions, fleet dispersed, traps reloaded. The void waited. Captain Elias Cade sealed his suit as the shuttle hatch hissed. Alarms blared soft, debris field closing fast. He launched the drone swarm manual. Pods streaked into the alien straggler. Targets painted, he muttered. Pad confirmed locks, Park's metronome pulsed. Drones burrowed vents. Sabotage bloomed internal. Cade watched feeds. Alien engines starved. Rex joined the graveyard. Clean, he reported. Shuttle ghosted away. Vance's voice cut in. Cade, stand by for intercept. Fourth inbound heavy. He checked ordnance. Full. Locked. Admiral Soren Vesh sealed bulkheads. Bridge smoked. Half his staff gone. Status, he demanded. Tactical flickered. Fleet halved, comms lag persists. Backup relays his fix, fed human spoof now. Every order warped. Vesh's mandibles trembled. Humans fired calm, precise. One shot undid him. Emergency fold, he ordered. Regroup at rally. But the police signal throbbed, sinking something vast. Missiles lanced true, capital cracked. Vance's holotank cleared, third wave routed. Park, Q analysis. They're folding sloppy, Park said. Delay compounds, fourth wave inherits it. Vance tapped icons. Micromines redeployed, silent grid expanding. Cade, Vanguard tenders? Ghosting now, he replied. Charges hot. Fleet heavies shifted, railguns cooled, ready. New folds tore space. Empire's mightiest yet dreadnoughts leading. Vesh's fragment fed the bait, Pride's echo. Commander Vance straightened. All stations, metronome live. Guns hummed. Analyst Juno Park fine-tuned the pulse. Please became blades. Sync perfect, ma'am. Vance watched the holotank bloom threats. Engage on tick. The first plea fired. Dreadnought tenders ignited. Chain reaction raced. Rail slugs followed. Antenna farms shattered fleet-wide. Cade's drones swarmed. Sabotage perfect. Vesh's final transmission leaked. Trap. Timing. Park cut it. Hook set. Humans waited. Clocks eternal. Captain Elias Cade mag-clamped the lead dreadnought's spine. Blind spot eternal. Charges planted. Beacons hungry. He cut free. Nominal. Fleet surged into doom. Vance pivoted. Heavies crushed the core. Empire burned. No rage, just victory timed. Earth turned safe. Again. Commander Mara Vance locked eyes on the holotank's central timer. Red numerals burned. 000547. Alien dreadnoughts surged forward, tenders flanking like obedient hounds. Vesh's flagship gleamed at the van, its spines charged for the kill. Sync confirmed, Analyst Juno Park said from her station. Her fingers danced over console keys. Police signals threading their net, they're buying the surrender hook. Vance nodded once, no smile, just focus. The holotank pulsed with false echoes, human ships broadcasting capitulation across every band. Vesh's fleet had slowed, savoring the moment. Pride delayed them, perfect. Park, inject the shift, one click left, fleet wide. Affirmative, Park's voice stayed flat. Code streamed out. Enemy sensors lit with ghosts. Every human vessel nudged portside in their feeds. A subtle warp, undetectable until too late. Vance watched the alien formation tighten. Destroyers peeled off to escort the fleeing humans. Tenders hung back, fat with fuel for the victory lap. The timer hit 000422. Captain Cade, status on Vanguard sabotage. Cade's gravelly reply crackled through the bridge net. Charges planted on 3 tenders, mag clamps holding, beacons pinging your metronome. Good copy. Hold for Q. The holotank bloomed new data. Vesh's counterfire orders leaked via hacked relays. Prideful bastard. He thought they had them. Admiral Soren Vesh's bridge thrummed with triumph, or so Vance inferred from the intercepted chatter. His mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his kind. Sensors painted humans scattering leftward, engines flaring in panic. Surrender signals wailed, mercy, we yield, coordinates attached. Fire all batteries, Vesh barked. Clean kill, no survivors. Plasma lances and kinetic storms erupted from his dreadnoughts. They stabbed empty void. Human positions, real ones, sat untouched 1 kilometer right. Vesh's destroyers plowed ahead, blind to the miss. Vance's timer, 000311. They're overcommitted, Park reported. Delay peaking, escorts drifting into our grid. Vance tapped the execute queue. Railgun batteries hummed to life across her fleet. Logistics drones redeployed micromines in silent blooms. No rush, timing on the field. Cade's voice cut in. Tenders in position. Fuel lines primed. Trigger on my mark, Vance said. Enemy sensors scrambled harder. Park's injection deepened the lie. Human surrender beacons now pulsed with feigned engine failures. Vesh's tenders rushed to secure the prizes. Timer 000159. Vesh paced his flagship's command deck. Mandibles flared. Why no return fire? Sensors confirm their shift, his analyst chittered. Surrender verified, Admiral, they're broken. Fools, Vesh snarled, but doubt gnawed. He committed the core, dreadnoughts forward, destroyers screening. Tenders latched onto ghost hulls. Vance's bridge stayed ice calm. Crew stations glowed steady, no cheers, just checks. Mark, she said, Cade triggered. Lead tenders core ruptured first. Fuel ignited in a chain, plasma blooms engulfing 2 destroyers. They dead stuck, reactors starved, drifting hulks. Third tender followed, shrapnel scything escorts. 4 alien destroyers went dark, sails limp. Alarms wailed on Vesh's bridge. Tenders compromised. Destroyers offline. Vance pivoted her heavies right, a flawless formation shift. Her cruisers screened the flank. Vesh's flagship isolated itself behind the chaos of its own wrecks. Timer 000042. Volleys green, Park said. Metronome locked. Fire. Rail slugs leaped from 30 batteries. Coordinated arcs timed to the plea signal's final throb. They shattered antenna farms fleet-wide. Alien comms severed, sensors blanked. Vesh's dreadnought shuddered. Slugs punched spines, venting atmosphere. Counter emergency fold. But his escorts clogged the path. Drifting hulks blocked vectors. Park's false returns fed chaos. His gunners targeted phantoms. Vance's second volley lanced. Missiles swarmed from hidden pods, logistics haulers unmasked as wolf packs. They cracked dreadnought armor. Cade's Spec Ops drones piled on. Boarding clamps latched blind spots. Sabotage charges burrowed. Vance watched the holotank clear. Third-wave escorts folded sloppy straight into her expanding mine grid. Blooms of fire marked their ends. Park, cue analysis. They're folding erratic, Park replied. Delay cascading, fourth wave jumps blind. Vance tapped redeploy, micromines fan wider. Cade status, ghosting second tender wave, charges hot. Fleet heavies realigned, railguns cycled cool. New folds ripped space, Empire reinforcements dreadnought led. Vesh's battered fragment baited them in, she straightened. All stations, metronome live, guns primed. Park fine-tuned the pulse, fake pleas sharpened to blades. Sync perfect, ma'am. Vance eyed the bloom of threats. Engage on tick. First plea fired, tenders ignited anew. Chain reactions raced through the van. Rail slugs followed, pulverizing spines. Cade's drones swarmed flawless. Vesh's transmission leaked. Trap! Timing! Park sliced it dead. Hook set. Humans held, clocks ticked eternal. Captain Elias Cade mag-clamped the lead dreadnought's spine. Blind spot held. His team planted final beacons, hungry for the sink. He cut free. Nominal. Vance's fleet surged. Heavies crushed the core. Empire hulls cracked wide. No rage, victory timed. Earth's defenses stood firm. Again, but the holotank flickered new signatures. Vesh's rally point leaked coordinates, sloppy in panic. Park traced it. Fourth wave inbound there, she said. We can preempt. Vance nodded. Pivot to intercept. Cade prepped boarding on their flag. Aye, alien pride echoed in the void. Humans turned it to ash. Vance's timer reset. Next tick loomed. Deeper in the fray, Cade's shuttle ghosted through debris. His HUD synced to Vance's metronome. Alien destroyers tumbled nearby, dead stuck from tender blasts. He ignored them. Team breach in 3. His Spec Ops squad prepped grapples. No chatter, just checks. Enemy sensors swept blind. Park's ghosts held. Cade's shuttle latched the dreadnought's underbelly. Airlock spun. They flooded in. Corridors hummed alien chants, panic rising. Cade's rail pistol barked. First sentry dropped. Charges to bridge, he growled. Squad fanned. Bulkheads buckled under breacher charges. Alarms shrieked. Vesh's fragment fought hard. Claws raked. But humans stayed calm. Cade sidestepped a lunge, put 2 rounds center mass. Advanced. Bridge doors blew. Officers whirled. Vesh loomed at the holotank, mandibles agape. Humans, he hissed. How? Cade leveled his weapon. Timing. Beacon armed. Sync pulse fired. The dreadnought's core destabilized. Vance's remote cue. Vance felt the confirmation ping. Holotank marked Vesh's flag as breached. Core kill confirmed, Park said. Vance's heavies closed the noose. Rail volleys stripped the rally point bare. Fold stuttered, reinforcements trapped mid-jump. She exhaled once, fleet intact. Aliens rooted, but scouts pinged more. Empire's true hammer loomed beyond sensor range. Vesh's failure fed their caution now. Regroup on Vector 7, Vance ordered. Logistics reload. Park patched Cade's exit. Clear. Humans drifted through the wrecks. Calm, ready, the plea signals faded. Stopwatch reset. Admiral Soren Vesh clutched his collapsing throne. Bridge lights flickered. Human boarders had infiltrated everywhere. His pride, his delay, doomed them. Regroup at rally, he rasped earlier. But now nothing. Explosions rocked the hull. His final order died unsent. Vance's feed caught the end. No triumph, just data logged. Analysis complete, Park said. Their Y-speed tech outpaces us in folds, but our timing nulls it. Vance tapped the fleet net. All hands stand down alert, prep for sweep. Crew moved, efficient, humble in victory. Cade's shuttle docked. He strode the bay, gear slung. Nodded to Vance via relay. Debrief later. War eternal. Earth spun safe. Clocks waited. Vance stood at the holotank as the fourth wave materialized, dreadnoughts en masse. They hesitated, Vesh's warning ghosting their nets. Park's injection primed. False pleas bloomed anew. "They're probing," Park noted. Vance slammed her fist on the holotank rim. The alien flagship silhouette sharpened amid the fourth wave's dreadnought swarm. Vesh's vessel burned hot on scanners, prideful, exposed. "Target maneuvering jets," she snapped. "Surgical strikes, hold fire on reactors." Park's fingers flew across her console. "Locks confirmed." "Firing now?" Torpedoes streaked from the human line. They punched clean through ventral housings. Explosions bloomed blue, plasma vents sealing shut. The flagship shuddered, jets crippled. It drifted helpless, bowsprit first, into the kill box. Vance's fleet held formation. No pursuit, no cheers, just cold vectors updating. "Cade," she said into the comm. "Ventral service lock, you're green." "Affirm," Cade grunted. His shuttle peeled from the bay. Admiral Soren Vesh gripped his thrown arms. Human signals flooded the net, meek pleas, flickering broadcasts. Surrender vibes, weakness incarnate. "Transmit demand," he barked. "Formal capitulation or we glass their worlds." Comms officer bowed. "Sent, Admiral, they waver." Vesh's bridge crew straightened. Victory tasted sweet. His fleet closed ranks, weapons hot. Humans would kneel. Captain Elias Cade braced in the shuttle's lockout. Hulls loomed overhead, the flagship's underbelly scarred from the strikes. Service hatch yawned, emergency lit. "Breaching," he said. Magnetic clamps bit metal. Cutters whirred. Atmosphere hissed. His team spilled through, 6 operators in void suits, rifles slung. Corridors stretched dim, alien script glowing on bulkheads. No alarms yet. "Comms hijackers to core node," Cade ordered. "Move." They ghosted forward. Patrol drone word passed, ignored. Humans mimicked maintenance drones, low profile. Cade planted the first device. Nanites burrowed into conduits. "Node live, Park, you have backdoor." Juno Park nodded at her station. Vance's eyes bored in. "Sending surrender confirmation," Park said. Her voice stayed flat. "Hijack payload embedded." The broadcast pulsed fleet-wide. Human voices pleaded compliance. Buried code slithered through alien nets. Cade's commands masquerading as acknowledgments. Vance watched the holotank. Enemy icons flickered. Doubt crept into their formation. Vesh's console chimed. Human reply inbound. He leaned forward. "Play it." The bridge speakers crackled. A human captain's voice. "Flagship confirms. All units stand down. Ceasefire protocols active." Vesh froze. His own authorization codes laced the words. "Stolen. Impossible." "Security squads," he roared. "Bridge lockdown. Intruders." Klaxons wailed. Bulkheads slammed shut. Vesh's throne compartment sealed airtight, his own protocols trapping him inside. Crew scattered. Phaser fire echoed distant. Vesh pounded the panel. "Override, open these doors." No response. His fleet hesitated, confused signals rippling. Cade kicked through the bridge antechamber hatch. 2 guards spun, blasted silent. His team fanned out, suppressors coughing. "Core secure," one reported. "Hijackers routed." Cade advanced. Bridge doors buckled under charges. Smoke billowed. He strode through, rifle leveled. Vesh's officers dropped weapons. The admiral whirled from his throne, mandibles flaring. 4 arms raised a sidearm. Cade's shot vaporized it. "Down now." Vesh snarled, towering. "Primitives, you trespass doom." Cade ignored him. He jacked into the command throne. Hijackers synced. Park auth codes pulled, transmitting fleet-wide ceasefire. Vesh's voice print. "Affirm," Park replied. Vance's fleet held back, ghosts in the void. The flagship's arrays lit up. Vesh's recorded rasp boomed across channels. "All ships, this is Admiral Soren Vesh. Cease fire, stand down, return to fold points." Vesh lunged. Cade's boot met his chest. The alien crashed back, eyes wide. "You, forged?" "Real enough," Cade said. He zip-tied the Admiral's arms. "Your pride signed it." Enemy dreadnoughts powered down weapons. Formations fractured. Retreat vectors activated. Vance exhaled. "Sweep the stragglers. Logistics reload." Park patched Cade's cam feed. Vesh slumped, defeated. Human teams extracted clean. But scouts pinged beyond range. Empire's hammer stirred. Vesh's failure bought time, nothing more. Cade hauled the Admiral to the ventral lock. "Shuttle inbound." Vesh spat curses in his tongue. Cade shoved him aboard. No drama, just procedure. Back on Vance's bridge, the holotank cleared. Fourth wave routed. Clocks reset. Regroup Vector 7, Vance ordered. Prep for the real fight. Captain Elias Cade sealed the shuttle hatch. Vesh chained opposite glaring daggers. The flagship receded, drifting tomb. Debrief, Cade asked via relay. Later, Vance said, Park's analyzing their Y-speed folds. We counter with timing. Cade nodded to empty air. Humans won quiet. Aliens learned loud. Admiral Soren Vesh tested his bonds. Futile. His empire would avenge, but doubt gnawed. Humans hadn't raged, hadn't broken. They'd waited and struck perfect. Vance stood at the holotank. Fifth wave ghosts flickered on edge sensors. Park's false pleas primed anew. They're cautious now, Park noted. Vance smiled thin. Good, let them come. Fleet ghosts waited. Calm, ready, traps reloaded. Explosions from stragglers lit the black. Cade's shuttle docked smooth. He strode the bay, gear slung. Nod to Vance via screen. War ground on. Earth held. Juno Park synced the next injection. Vesh's codes unlocked doors galaxy-wide. Humans turned alien arrogance to chains. One tick at a time, Vance tapped fleet net. All hands, eyes sharp. Crew moved, efficient, unbroken. The void answered silent. But clocks ticked. Vesh's interrogation feed patched in. The Admiral rasped warnings, ignored. Log it, Vance said. Fuel for the next. Park nodded. Y-speed outpaces folds, but our patience nulls it. Dreadnought shadows massed afar, Empire's true fist clenched. Vance's finger hovered, strikes cued, timing perfect. They came, humans waited, railguns hummed charge, torpedoes nested, boarding pods primed. Vesh's echo haunted their nets. Caution reigned, but pride lingered, always did. Fire on my mark, Vance whispered. Mark dropped. Volleys stripped rally points. Folds stuttered, trapped mid-jump. Fleet intact. Aliens fractured, she exhaled once. Scouts pinged more. Stopwatch reset. Admiral Soren Vesh clutched the interrogation cell's struts. Human borders infiltrated everywhere. His delay, his certainty doomed the wave. Regroup, he'd rasped too late. Explosions rocked memory. Vance's analysts logged it all. No triumph, data only. Analysis complete, Park said later. Their tech edges us, ours breaks them. Vance tapped net. Stand down alert. Sweep prepped, crew stirred, humble, ready. Cade debriefed bayside, nodded once. Gear stowed, war eternal, Earth spun safe. Clocks waited, always. Commander Mara Vance keyed the fleet-wide broadcast. Alien Command, this is Vance. Terms, clear evacuation lanes for your survivors. Prisoner exchange at neutral marker Delta 7. No pursuit if you fold now. Her bridge hummed. Screens tracked fractured alien formations. Railgun batteries idled, capacitors full. Park monitored signals from her station. Cade strike teams prepped boarding clamps on debris fields. Admiral Soren Vesh's voice crackled back from the captured flagship. Human, your tricks end. My empire avenges this insult. Pride laced every syllable. His image flickered, scaled face twisted, eyes defiant. Vance stayed calm. She tapped Park. Log the tone, pattern match. Affirmative, Park replied. Fingers danced over consoles. Their scuttle protocols use rhythmic keys, matches our surrender loops. Vance nodded, no smile, just data. Enemy assumptions fueled the trap. Aliens saw pleas as weakness. Humans turned them into locks. Vesh slammed a claw on his bridge panel. Alarms blared in the feed. Self-scuttle engaged. Flagship denies you victory. Red lights pulsed across his ship. Timers spun down. Crew evacuated in panic. Vesh stood alone, chest heaving. Empire pride demanded spectacle, no surrender. Explosion would scatter human pursuit. From Vance's bridge, the drama played out clean. Park isolated the signal. Cadence locked. Their admin override mimics beggar pleas, 3 short, 1 long. We're looping it now. Vance watched the timer halt. Good, Cade, your window's open. Extract priority. Captain Elias Cade magnetized his boots to the flagship's hull breach. Breach charges hissed silent. His team slipped through zero-G corridors, silenced rifles sweeping shadows. No chatter, just movement. Vesh's bridge doors buckled under breaching foam. Cade kicked in first. Down now, the Admiral whirled, energy blade igniting. Filth, you trespass Empire ground. Cade sidestepped the swing, grabbed the wrist, twisted, blade clattered. His knee drove into Vesh's midsection, air whooshed from scaled lungs. War's done, Cade grunted. He zip-tied the claws, dragged the limp form toward the escape pod bay. Team covered flanks, no shots fired. Efficiency over ego. Vesh snarled, thrashing. My fleet rallies, you burn. Cade shoved him into the pod, strapped him secure. They get the message soon. Pod hatch sealed. Launch sequence armed. Trajectory locked on human custody vectors. pod rocketed free. Vesh pounded the viewport. Cade's team exfiltrated clean. Drones confirmed, flagship inert, scuttle neutralized. Back on Vance's bridge, Park patched the pod feed. Prisoner secure, fleet chatter spikes panic mode. Vance leaned forward. Broadcast open. All channels. She faced the pickup. Voice steady, unyielding. Empire remnants, Vance commanding, your admiral launches to our custody. Terms stand, evac lanes active. Delta 7 for exchanges, retreat window opens. Now, clocks synced across human assets. Timers projected on every alien scope. Park fed the count. Multi-domain nets hummed, sensors, jammers, dormant mines. 10 minutes, Vance intoned. Lanes marked, cross them clean, you live, deviate, you end. Alien ships twitched, probes tested lanes. Human torpedoes nested unseen, time to ambush chokepoints. Rail salvos queued for fold escapes. Admiral Soren Vesh tumbled in the pod, straps bit scales, human tractor beams locked on gentle. No drama. His comms pinged Empire frequencies. Vance's voice echoed everywhere. 9 minutes 40 seconds. Vesh keyed his panel. Warlords ignore the witch, charge their core. Static answered, fewer voices, fractured command. His delay, his certainty left them exposed. Human patience weaponized the void. From Vance's vantage, scopes lit up. Stragglers peeled toward lanes, others clustered defiant. She tapped net. Hold fire, let clocks work. Park cross-checked signals. Their folds destabilize under our ghosts, logistics trap holds. Cade docked in the bay, stowed gear, nodded to Tex. One less fanatic. 8 minutes 20. Vesh's pod neared human pickets. Marines boarded smooth. He spat defiance. Ignored, logged for intel. Vance watched a cruiser test the lane edge. Mines bloomed silent, proximity warnings only, ship veered back, lesson learned. 7 minutes 50. Empire dreadnoughts massed afar. Probes fed false surrender pings, they bought it. Formations tightened for theatrical charge, Park grinned faint. Assumptions chain them. Vance exhaled measured. Prep secondaries if they push. 6 minutes 30. Cade joined the bridge feed, leaned against bulkhead, arms crossed, watched scopes. Alien chatter fractured, surrender bursts leaked, pride cracked under tick. 5 minutes 10, Vesh in custody now, interrogation pod rasped Empire secrets. Vance's analysts peeled layers. No rush, data eternal. Fleet net confirms, Park said. Half in lanes, rest scattering. 4 minutes 40, defiant clusters lunged. Human ghost stealth drones swarmed. Jammers blinded sensors. Folds stuttered mid-jump. Railguns spoke precise. Volleys stripped engines. No kills, cripples drifted to lanes. 3 minutes 20. Vance's voice broadcast relentless. Calm eroded alien nerve. Captain Elia's cage shifted weight. Scopes showed it. Empire fist unclenched. Ships funneled compliant. 2 minutes. Park synced final overrides. Lingering threats pinged clean. 1 minute. Lanes cleared, no deviations. 30 seconds. Vance counted final beats. Evac confirmed, window closes, go. Pods and shuttles streaked free. Human tractors nudged strays gentle, no pursuit. Admiral Soren Vesh watched from his cell feed. Fleet ghosts faded. Humans waited, always. Vance tapped console. Stand down all, log the fold. Bridge exhaled collective. Crew moved to sweeps, humble, ready. Clocks reset, Earth secure. Patience nulls all. But scouts pinged new shadows. Empire's deeper fist stirred. Vance's finger hovered, strikes cued anew. They came again, humans waited. The last seconds weren't for dying, they were for leaving. Empire ships vanished into folds, lanes emptied, void silent. Vance broadcast closed. Log complete, prep for next. Park nodded. Their arrogance our chain. Cade grunted approval. Gear checked, war ticked on, one come breath at a time. Dreadnought signatures massed beyond scanner edge. Probes whispered Empire resolve. Vance eyed the plot. Patience holds, they assume again. Analyst feeds poured data. Vesh's confessions mapped Empire folds, weak points glowed. Ghosts deploy, she ordered. Drones slipped silent. Alien warlords rallied remnants. Pride demanded return. Human traps waited. Cade prepped teams. Boarding clamps hot. Park looped new signals. Beggar cadences primed. Clocks synced. Timing perfect. Empire thrust forward. Lanes baited anew. Vance whispered, mark. Ambush bloomed, multi-domain fire, folds trapped, ships crippled. Aliens broadcast surrender, true this time. Vance offered terms again. Evac lanes, exchanges, they took them, fast, humans humble, clocks eternal. One tick chained the stars.